Welcome to We're Talking Bears,
where we bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience.
I'm Uncle,
Nephew,
and I'm Son,
and we're talking Bears.
Okay, here we are. Week 6, Vikings. Bears hosting, being an incredible, generous, caring host for the Vikings.
Welcome back. Welcome back to We're Talking Bears. Week 6, me and Unc here today to give you all a recap of the latest with the Bears and the Vikings game in Week 6. But before we do that, remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Get the word out. We like talking Bears. Through good or bad, we're going to be here giving you all the latest updates. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on our page. So show us some love. What's the word, Unc? Another devastating loss after the first win of the season had us feeling optimistic moving forward. Talking about all the games that we saw on the schedule that were winnable games. And I feel like this one was winnable. We just, in Bears fashion, didn't win it.
Hey, well, the first thing you have to look at is the fact that the defense only gave up 12 points. The defense gave up 12 points, right? Offense gave up 7 and only scored 13. So that's a net 6 for the offense.
Right.
As the offense, if you give up points through turnovers, you absolutely have to go get those back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the defense only gave up 12 points, which that was points-wise our best defensive outing of the season. They did some great things on defense. They kept them under 200 yards passing. They kept them under 50 yards rushing. They literally on the Vikings, no player besides the quarterback had more than 50 yards. Hawkinson had 6 grabs for 50 yards. Madison had 18 runs for 44 yards, 2.4 a carry. Osborne had 4 grabs for 48. Madison had 4 grabs for 28. Addison had 3 grabs for 28. I mean, the defense did its job. They shut down this offense. Unfortunately, our offense didn't come to play. Our offense was a joke. Our offense it was almost as if we were unprepared for this outing. Right. We were unprepared. You had 9 days to prepare for this outing and came out flat and silly. First play of the game, your quarterback is not supposed to have a man running wide open at him, unblocked to smash him. Not supposed to happen. And that's on everybody, right? That's on Fields for not adjusting the protection at the line. But that's on Getsy for not reading and Eberflus for not listening and reading and understanding that the Vikings blitz more than anybody in the NFL. You got 5 offensive linemen. They stand 6 guys up in front of your 5 linemen. They're not joking. They're not joking. They're like, we're coming,
Right.
I was like, hey, we're from Chicago. There's certain neighborhoods, they're not joking. You see a bunch of dudes standing on a corner. They're not kidding.
Right.
They're coming.
Right.
You know how to deal with that, right? You can't just ignore it.
Right.
That's gonna be bad, and you can't open with that. Look again. Look, you had to know that we had protection issues because you had to know that the running backs that were at the bottom of the roster you were gonna have to use can't block for Fields.
Right.
You had to know that. But Blessing game can. And you've seen Blasingame run. So you're in a tight spot. Mix him in. Let him get some runs, but let him be in there on some of those important downs.
Right.
Let him be in there. If you went 5 wide, 5 linemen to open up the game, they put 6 men at the line of scrimmage. And Justin didn't throw the ball fast because he was concerned clearly. All of his receivers had their backs to him, and all of those 5 defenders that were covering him were staring at him, waiting to attack that ball. I'd rather see them go to a timeout. When you look at that setup and go, if you can't adjust down, bring Komet over. Bring him over. Make it 6-on-6. But come on, man. We can't start the game like that. But why start the game like that anyway? Start the game. Run the rock. Deontay Foreman may not be able to pass block, but he can run that pill.
And you know
he can
what?
Run the pill. Foreman,
it seems like we're never satisfied with something that works. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Give the guy the rock. I mean, I know he's the 3rd, 4th back. The other guys are down. We're dealing with injuries. Run the rock. I don't understand, especially when you're not having the success through the air. Like you said, when those are adjustments that you see you need to make. Run the rock. And we're playing a depleted Minnesota team without the number 1 wideout. This was a W in my book. I don't understand. I didn't see this coming. I don't understand. And to me, that's definitely a thing on coaching, because what was wrong with Foreman running the ball?
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, he ran the ball well. He averaged 4.3 a carry. That's completely
and once again, we had an opportunity to win late. And it's just like, okay, I mean, I'm not upset at Bagent. I mean, young quarterbacks make young mistakes. But we should have been running that route. You get what I'm saying?
Let's tell the truth. Bagent should not have been in there. If you protect your quarterback, Bagent's not in there.
Absolutely.
We look, and this is on polls too. Polls, look, I've said it a million times. He said he's going to build the line. With that second pick that we picked Tyreek Stevenson, I like Tyreek, but we picked Tyreek Stevenson. We couldn't afford to do that. We all understand when you can't afford something. Man, I want that new car because it's sweet. But I got bills to pay. If you buy the new car, you're not paying the bills.
Right.
So you can't, you have an opportunity cost. You can't do both.
Right.
We went out, and instead of getting a center, what have we been having all year? Problems at the center. Problems with Whitehair and Patrick. Let's just tell the truth. It's not just the center position. It's Whitehair and Patrick. When one of them's at guard, the blocking is horrible. Horrible. When they're center, the snaps are horrible. Right. Horrible. So if you go and you get one of the best centers in the draft, and you would have, because centers didn't start going till the 2nd round. So you would have had a good center. You would have had one of the top 2 or 3 centers. You actually would have picked, instead of Tyreek Stevenson, you pick a center, you'd have picked the 2nd center off the board. 1 came off the board before that. And you'd have had Darnell Wright and a quality center. And then you really could have moved on from Lucas Patrick and Cody Whitehair. You could have moved on it. And right now they're murdering us, because neither of them is doing a great job of blocking, and neither of them are doing a great job of getting the ball to the quarterback. And when you already have a line that's mediocre, and you take an extra 1/3 of a second to get the ball, and the quarterback, think about it. If the ball comes perfectly into my hands every time, I can almost look away from the snap and just catch that with my peripheral. But when I'm catching the ball here and here, down here on the ground, when I'm doing all that, I have to look at that ball, man, because if I don't get that ball, it's a problem. which means for the first half second of the play, I can't be looking at the defense while that's coming. I'm concentrating on getting this ball from wherever it ends up. And then Justin is already doesn't read quickly those defenses. So now you have you lose time. It's just a mess, and it starts up front, man. And I'm tired of this. We said we were going to do something, we didn't do it.
Right. Absolutely tired of it, and I'm tired of talking about the draft. I'm tired of the highlights of our season being the high pick we're going to get for the following season. I'm tired of it, man. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They can't get a snap. They can't get a snap off right. And at the end of the day, then we start to place these blames. Then it's like, oh, is it Justin? Is it this? I just want to see coaching change. I want to see somebody who can come out here and use the guys we have to their best potential. If you can show me that you can scheme up strategies and play calling that allow your players to play at their maximum potential, I can accept losing if we lose to a team that's better than us. I cannot accept underperforming week after week and week after week to the point where us as fans have to sit back and blame the guys that we have. It's a league full of professional players. We're not always going to have who's considered the best player at each position. The key thing is putting out a quality product in your team that can go out there and compete. And we're just not getting that from our coaches.
We're not. This is not a quality product. And, like you said, hey, when we went to Kansas City, sure, I wanted to be competitive, but that is a world-class team with multiple championships. We're not on their level, right? But this Vikings team, there's absolutely, positively no reason why we can't be competitive with the doggone Minnesota Vikings, with the doggone Green Bay Packers. These teams are not good teams.
Right.
These are not teams that are strong. These are not teams that get it done. We've gotta change. I mean, we've got to do something. And I'll give it to the defense. It was a good team defensive effort. When you look at the team, as far as that, you got TJ Edwards with a sack, Jaquan Brisker and DeMarcus Walker teamed up for a sack. You had 2 sacks. You again on the ground rushing. You only gave up 46 total yards running. Fantastic play by the front 7, especially the defensive line. But it's just you're a bad team when one part of your team steps up and the other takes light years back. We went from scoring 4 touchdowns a game to barely being able to move the ball, getting our quarterback injured, and the like. That's just, man, come on.
I understand. I got a question for you, Unc. How, and this is a little bit of a speculation, but how do our players respond? How do our players respond? Granted, like in my opinion, when you're playing for a team, you got all these guys, different walks of life, different places, and you want them to all come together for a common goal of winning, right? What happens psychologically when you're on a team that doesn't seem like it's committed to winning? And granted, there's a lot of working parts to the team, but we got Justin. I want to have Justin leading our team, but how do you keep guys engaged when it seems like the front office or the coaching or everybody's not on the same page? It doesn't seem like everybody has the same mentality for success. And I'm afraid that we'll start to lose the guys that we have, the players that we like, the guys that are our Bears players that we love, because they're not giving them anything to strive for. We're not winning anything. We're not a place that anybody wants to come and play because we're not doing anything. And I'm afraid that before we're able to get that corrected, and if we don't get it corrected, we won't have guys that want to play for us at all. I just want to know how you feel about that.
I mean, I think you hit it on the head, and it's beautiful. I hope that we started with a Tony Dungy kind of attitude. One of the things that Tony Dungy told the guys in Indianapolis when he showed up, he said, look, this is how I talk. This is how I speak. This is the tone and the volume of my voice. If you are only motivated by somebody screaming and cursing at you, you need to just come by my office and request a trade, because I ain't gonna do that.
Right.
You are all men. Many of you have families. You're getting paid a lot of money. If that's not enough motivation for you to give me your best, come see me. And I swear, he told him, I swear it's not going to be anything against you. It's just not a good fit, and that's fine. And we'll find a place for you somewhere else in the league. But he just established it. I hope they establish that type of sentence here, because right now, if you don't have your own why, if you're not out there playing and realizing that the level of your play equals the amount of demand the other 31 teams have you. If you don't look at yourself as a Roquan, who other teams would be glad to give you a max contract. If you don't remember Shea McClellan, left the Bears, went to the Patriots, and won a Super Bowl. We had several guys do that. If you don't play with that type of heart, that, hey, if you don't play like Jack Sanborn, let's just give it. We got one of those for sure. You don't play like Jack Sanborn, no matter what, I'm leaving everything on the field. If you're not playing like that, you're a problem. You're a problem anyway. So the good thing about bad times, they let you know who you need to let go. Right?
That's for sure.
That's for sure. And so we need everybody to have a Sanborn type of attitude and come to this with their own personal why. That I'm out here as a man to prove my personal best. Now, the tough part is, honestly, for guys like TJ Edwards and Edmonds, who just signed pretty good sized deals and are here for a while, that can be tough, because they're like, wait a minute, I bought into the sales pitch, and this isn't what, it's kind of like if you go in and, they tell you, your car's going to get this miles per gallon, and it's going to have these features, and you drive away and it doesn't. You're gonna be back there having some conversations. And honestly, they need to walk into Paul's office. Hey, look, I'm not trying to go over anybody's head or anything like that, but sir, you said X, Y, and Z. When are we gonna see it? So first year, I'm not mad, but that's not what's happening right now. What
we
you
need the
told me was
LeBron
gonna happen,
James of the NFL.
it's
Give
not
me some
happening.
guys.
I need some guys. Right. And it's not just the guys. I mean, I understand that our coaches are second year head coach, second year offensive coordinator, and they're going to make mistakes. But honestly, it's time to call them into Paul's office and say, hey, here's a short list of stupid mistakes that we aren't going to accept anymore. This it's gone on long enough. I'm not going to accept you getting my quarterbacks killed because you keep drawing up plays that don't fit their personality and their ability. Justin Fields isn't a quick decision maker. So don't put him in a position where there's guys running free at him and he's got to stand back and pass. If you want him to stand back and pass, give him some protection. He'll stand back there and pass. But you're going to have very good defensive ends running free at him. Kind of crazy nutso play is that? And why can't Fields, whether it's him or whether it's the offensive play calling or design, why can't he option out of that? Why can't he audible the protection? Like, no, this is a blitzing team. They got 6 guys, I got 5. I was like, maybe if it's the 85 Bears or the 90s Cowboys, we could pick those 6 dudes up. Right. But a regular group of guys that's struggling just to protect me when 4 guys are coming is 6 guys coming. I'm about to get popped.
Right.
And if I see that at the line of scrimmage, I've got to do something or adjust the route. Hey, you know what? All of y'all are doing these, different routes. You commit, just do a slant. That guy comes, I'm just putting it on you. You gotta. I mean, it's like this. I mean, come on. We used to do that playing football in the park. You see somebody's blitzing, and you look over at your boy, and he look back at you, and you go, you don't have to say a word. You just
Right.
know. Like,
Right.
dude, he's not gonna cover you. He's coming after me.
Right.
I'm throwing you the ball. As soon as it gets in my hand, it's coming out.
Right.
And I mean, that's I don't know why they don't have that. Like literally in that play, you Komet does a hard slant or DJ does a hard slant, and you just put the ball on it. Boom. But they've got that adjustment's got to happen, whether it's a called adjustment or whether it's just eyeball to eyeball. Yo, you see what's going on here, right? Okay, let's do this. If we're gonna do it and we're gonna let them come hot at me, and I'm only 5 yards back, then let's do this. It's just the craziest stuff. It doesn't make sense. I'm ranting.
No, but you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see us losing this week. It sucks to be in the bottom of the division. That sucks. Because even though the season started off rough, I didn't expect us to be the worst team in our division. Like, I at least thought we were gonna give that nicely to the Minnesota Vikings. We're gonna let you guys hold this.
Worse
we
than
play other
that.
teams still. We got the Lions still twice. We haven't seen them yet. I'm not confident about them, but I want our league back, man. And I hope that we can get this turned around for the next time we see these teams, because these are guys we should not lose to. So I'm hoping they get it figured out and we can be the team on the field that we know we're supposed to be on paper.
Man,
It's devastating.
what do you? I want to give pub to the defense and talk about how well they did, but it's so hard to when we played so poorly as a group. You know what I mean? Defense
Yeah,
did their job, man.
they
They
did.
were flying around. I mean, the past 2 weeks in the last two games, they haven't given up 100 yards on the ground.
Right.
That is a different. Remember last year we were giving up 200 yards a game on
Oh,
the
it was out of
ground.
control last year. Yes, I absolutely remember.
It was out of
Absolutely
control.
remember.
But
We were
this
setting
year,
running records, but teams were setting running the
right?
ball down
They
our
they
throat.
were they were getting us for the
Yeah.
same.
Yep.
I mean, it's just highly impressive, and I have to give the defense credit. They're getting their job done. They did their job against the Commanders. They did their job against the Vikings. They did their job. You know, man, offense now the offense is doing terrible.
I want to ask you a question. Last drive of the game, Bagent throws the pick, looking for DJ Moore. We're moving the ball. What do you think about that? I wish we'd have kept running the ball. Honestly.
You know what? I think that there's a time to be a hero and there's a time not to. And this is the same thing that happened play one, right? It was bad protection. Somebody got a hand on his shoulder, on his opposite shoulder while he's throwing the ball. That's going to affect the path of the
Right.
ball. But even without that happening, you saw him get flustered and throw up some dead ducks. So I don't know if we're moving the ball. I don't know if that. I mean, yeah, if it's Fields, I'm taking a shot because he's going to get it down there. But come on, man. Don't break the rookie's confidence the first day he
Right.
gets behind the ball. Give him,
Right.
you know, okay, even if you send DJ Moore, no, and he threw a dead duck. He threw a dead duck, and I mean, it's just why did you need that on first down?
On first thing, right.
I mean, you're taking a shot. I get it, but Again, how are your players doing? He got lucky and threw up a duck, and we caught it. I think it was T. Scott
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
that came back and got it. Man, come on. That guy, I like Bagent, you know that, but come on, man. He needs a couple years of refining to even
Yeah.
find out if he's decent. Don't,
Right.
come on.
Right.
It's just when it's working, is working. Like you said, we literally in that game as a team, we ran for a $162. And if we had kept mixing the runs and short passes on that game-winning drive, we probably would have run for about a $190 to 100, and we could have won the game. They
I
they
agree.
weren't stopping us.
Right. Exactly.
They weren't stopping us. Do what works. Get wins.
Right.
Stop trying to be pretty, because you're not pretty.
Right.
You're not. That's
You're
what
not
they used to
pretty.
say. You're not pretty. They used to say you put a makeup on a pig, it's still a pig.
You're the pig. Yep.
It's a
Yep.
pig. You're not
Oh
pretty.
man.
Do what works.
Yeah.
And
And you know
man,
what? I'm a little bit tired of that sentiment as well, because how many times have we said this exact thing? Even dating back into last year when we were setting records, we were the number one running team in the league, and at times we just didn't run. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, do what works. Like, is it something in the coach's head that's saying, like, you get what I'm saying? Or it's like somebody that's like, oh, I always just shoot layups. I want to show you I can shoot threes. It's like, man, but you make the layups. Like, I don't understand. I don't get
right
it. And it seems like there's some kind of ego or pride almost, because it's like, who doesn't do what works?
team that lose. I mean, think about it. Could Dennis Rodman shoot threes? He actually could.
He used to make them
Is
when he took them. Right.
any but would you let Dennis shoot a three with the game on the line?
Absolutely not.
No.
I'm not gonna give you the ball for this. Right.
No.
No, but you're right. You're right. And to piggyback that Bulls team, I distinctly remember them saying things like Michael Jordan's gonna shoot a layup every time until they can stop him. Yeah, why wouldn't he? It's like
Until they can
if we
stop him.
used to play basketball, it's like, all right, I might have been fast and quick. My uncle playing me. It's like, well, when I want to win, I'm gonna post you up. And I don't understand why we don't have that. Like, I don't understand why the Bears don't have that.
Hey, you know what? Look, it's one thing when you're in the park to play every position and have fun, right?
Right.
It's another thing. It's another thing to be a professional team and you're out there like you're just having fun, playing every position, doing everything.
Right.
Do what works. Again, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, they let him take threes. If they're up by 15, Dennis, take some threes. He'd hit them both. The whole the whole Chicago stadium would go crazy
Yep.
because it wasn't supposed to happen. And now
Right.
we're up by 18.
Right.
It's
Right.
embarrassing, right? But man, come on. We're down by one. It's the championship. You know who's shooting the ball.
Right. Right.
You, you know. You
And
know
even
who's
with
shooting
that,
the ball.
he's not shooting threes. It's like, no, you have to stop me doing the easy thing first. Until you stop me doing what I can do easily, I'm not gonna change. I don't have to change. You have to adapt. And I don't understand why we don't do teams that way. You take what you do well and you do it until you can stop it. That's what makes a team good. Any other teams, when you see their best players, they use their best players like they're their best players. That's what winning teams look like.
What happened against the Commanders? Honestly, most of the offense got nothing accomplished. We have 50 yards passing outside of DJ Moore, 52
Right.
against the Commanders. DJ had 230 and really 4 touchdowns, but 3,
Yeah. Right.
you know,
Right.
but dude, and we just, even at the end, game is almost over. Hey, we got to win. We give it back to DJ.
Right.
This week, a la Bill Belichick. Belichick, when he had Tom Brady, would do it. There'd be games where they just ran the ball like crazy. Why? Because you know what? When as a team, you got 162 yards on the ground, and you're getting, you know, 4.5 yards a carry, as a team. Come on, 5 yards a carry as a team. Come on.
Right.
It's 2 carries to a first down. I'm
Right.
not saying never throw, but dude, you're moving the ball. You just scored. Come on, man.
Right.
Come on. You just scored a touchdown. You're moving the ball. You're getting in range to score another one. Let's stop doing what works because it's working.
Right.
Let's get fancy. Let's go for it on 4th and 1 and the first
Let's
play.
get fancy. Right.
Come on, man. Come on. This is, honestly, somebody said, I forgot who it was. They were talking to Wannstedt, and they said, literally, this looks like preseason. And and they were both like, stop treating the preseason like you're a good team and treat the preseason like you're a bad team and get the starters out there and let them learn their jobs.
Right.
Instead of, I'm going to rest how you resting guys that can't do their job well in
Right.
the preseason? Let them earn their job in the preseason.
Right.
You talking about, oh, well, we'll play them 1 or 2. Man, come on. I understand not getting Justin killed. I get that. But you come on, man. This is a bad product.
Man,
1
it's
and
so
5.
sad.
It's a
So
bad
sad.
product.
So
And
sad. And
I
you're
don't want to
absolutely
take
right, man.
away. Who else don't we want to take away from? We've been in the huddle with Cairo Santos. He's our guy.
Man, he's
He's
always
the
the light at the
man.
end of the tunnel.
6 games in,
Yeah.
a third of the year done. Perfect. Not a field goal miss, not an extra point mix. He could be on any team in the league.
Yep.
He can be on any team in the league. Man. 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 I mean, it's like, can't take anything away from Santos. The defense and Santos they played. The offense, dang. Ugh.
Yeah. And it goes back to the question you said, I think, in week 1 or 2 of this season. And actually, you've harped on it a little bit with this rebuild we've been going through. What's our identity? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Because last week it seemed like we were coming to figure it out. And another loss. You know what? This team reminds me of like, like when you're playing against kids and you're like, oh, like you said, we're just playing to have fun. You're playing against kids. And then you actually lose to the kids. But then you're telling yourself, well, I was just having fun, right? So it's like then you come out one day and it's like, oh, okay, we won today. You get what I'm saying? But the whole time you're thinking that you're a better team. You're playing like you're supposed to win, and you're just having fun. And it's like I don't see this team playing like they feel like there's. What am I trying to say? I don't see this team playing as if they have something to prove. I don't see this team playing as a team that's been getting beat. They're playing as if like, oh yeah, we lost, but it didn't count, or we're just having fun, or because where's the intensity? How every week, every week, every week. And I mean, I get it. I think it's coaching. I think a large part of it is coaching. But as far as being a player on a team like that, it's only so many times I'm gonna be playing and losing to somebody I know I should be beating. You get what I'm saying? At some point, it's gonna be me talking to the guy next to me, like, "Hey, get it together," because we're not supposed to lose to them.
Right. We're not supposed to lose to them. It's not supposed to happen. What can you say, man? This is just it's so nasty. Um, it's just ridiculous. That's all one can say. It's ridiculous. And again, you have a perfect kicker. So get in field goal range. Man, come on. Come on. All you got to do is get to the 35. really get to the
We
40.
really struggled moving the ball.
You just
we
got to
weren't even
get to
doing
the
that.
opponent's 40 in general. That's a 55-yard kick. You get there, 57. But if you get to the 35, you're talking about a 52-yard kick. Santos ain't missed all year. You get to the 35, you're putting up a field goal. Man, every single time we have the ball, we should be making a decision about kicking a field goal.
That's how I feel.
I mean, that's it. And then touchdowns are just bonus because this guy hasn't missed. He hasn't missed in 6 games in a row. Kick the ball. Get some points. You cannot be like 6 points in 3 quarters against the Vikings. You're not moving the ball at all.
Right. At all.
Because if you get to the 35, that's 3 more points. If it were, come on, man, come on. Honestly, that one touchdown should have tied the game because they only had 19. Yep. Should have tied the game. We should have been kicking for the game winner. I ain't got nothing else.
Who do we got next?
Oh, man. I was so depressed I didn't even look, honestly.
Me neither.
I was so depressed. I was like, I didn't even look. We got the Raiders.
Okay.
And, I mean, the Raiders, not a great team.
They're
not a great team at all. But, what you going to do? What are you going to do?
To me, this is the tale of the tape when you got a team that's not a good team versus another team that's not a good team. I feel like this is what happens. One of those teams is going to say, hey, we ain't losing to them. And that's it. And that's it. And that better be our team because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I feel like it has to start somewhere. Somebody's got to show some leadership in our locker room. In our practices in the front office, somebody's got to show some leadership and decide, hey, I'm not going to be a part of this. And if you're going to come out here on this field with me and we're going to play you, you're going to have to step it up too. And I don't know who those guys are on our team. Like you said, I know Justin's young. We got some young guys. But whoever are the vocal leaders in that locker room, some of the veteran leadership we have, they need to be instilling that on the field. The coaches need to be doing it in the locker room as well, but I feel like we need the players to band together because at the end of the day, if we can at least have the guys going out there playing with intensity, coaching can change. If it's just a matter of bad play calling, but you guys can galvanize the troops every week and come out there and fight, our team is going to look a lot better anyway, and we'll see that. You get what I'm saying? I just hope that they don't allow what all of this turmoil that we're going through, all this losing, to become their identity, or for them to start feeling like, hey, well, coach always plays this guy and he don't do his job. And that means something. You can't be a guy out there who's not pulling his weight and not doing their job. So
everybody's got to fight. Everybody's got to have their internal drive and fight until there's enough internal drive and fight that the team gets some momentum. Everybody's got to go out there and play their best game because, maybe your next coach is watching, right? And maybe it's your next coach with the Bears. Maybe it's your next coach with another team.
Right.
Well, man, I'm Uncle.
And I'm Nephew.
And we're talking Bears.